We're coming along. We're extremely young, especially on defense. The guys are working extremely hard to get where they need to be. It's no hidden secret. Our schedule is pretty tough. As we talked about earlier, our first 7 games we'll play 4 state champions in the last 3 years or so, 3 or 4 years. So it's just a really tough conference, and we accept that, and we like the challenge, and we're just trying to bring these guys up to the level of our conference to be competitive.
Let's talk about that offense first and your quarterback situation. Have you come to a decision yet? And if not, just tell the folks about your 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah, well, we have a junior, Jacob Bowman. We have a rising freshman, Carson Black, competing. They've both been, or Jacob's been in the program. This is his 3rd season coming in now. Carson led the undefeated middle school last year. He's worked hard just like Jacob have. They've both been under, if you will, under Sam's tutelage for a while. Sam poured into both of those guys. It's a great competition right now. Both guys are working extremely hard, and I'm proud of both of them.
Like a nice stable of wide receivers. If you could just talk about some of those wideouts and then your backfield, and another young player coming up onto the team.
Yes. Well, obviously we have Gavin with 26 D1 offers. And Gavin's working hard to try to bring some of these guys up and to their level, to the level he is, and also to help them with the terminology and the lingo with our offense and our hand signals. It can be complicated for a newbie. Adrian Ely is a player that's going to really help us out wide. He's a long body. He's fast. He's got really good hands. He knows the game of football. He's got a very football-minded dad. He actually coached here for a while before I was here. And he's going to help us outside. Brant's Westbrook came from Piedmont last spring. Brant has phenomenal hands as well. And for Brant, it's mainly the routes and learning when to throttle down, when to slow play a route, and when to speed it up. Ronnie Brown has been in the program now. This is his 3rd year. A big, strong body, close to 200-pounder, and we're expecting a lot of great things out of him. When we run a tight end set, Mason Tinsley, a rising sophomore, was a JV quarterback last year, 6'4", about 220. Kind of that frame that Luke Burnett was a couple years back, but he's got really good hands, baseball player as well, so that coordination is good. Running back, Corey Robinson 2 years ago was a 1,000-yard rusher. No fault of his, didn't get that milestone last year, but he's beefed up. He is looking extremely well. Michael Wilson Deuce is faster. He's bigger, and like you said earlier, we do have a rising freshman in the class with Carson, Tony McFadden, who's was on that undefeated middle school team that's turning a lot of heads as well. So Chris Yard is a senior who's worked really hard for us 4 years. So it's going to be a good battle in there, and any one of those guys can spread out too in the H-back or A-back for us and leave an empty set and catch the ball in space. So we're excited about the possibilities there and the promise. Just got to, like I said, get after and get everybody shored up on the same page.
You got to love Michael Gonzalez really anchoring that offensive line. If you could just talk about that line and then the defensive side of the ball.
Yes, Michael's just a great kid, 16 D1 offers. He's helping to step everything up. Carter Helms, Coach Helms, has done a great job of blending those guys. We've got some things that we're looking at now. Brandon Kidd at center some, which means we can move Jimmy Curley out. Charles Smith is over there to help us. Michael McCoy will get some reps. Ethan Hill, senior, will be good for us up there. So there's a couple options there that we can move 1 of 3 people to center and make the tackles a little bit bigger, the guards, and they're doing a good job of picking up on everything and moving their feet, learning their assignments, learning to play beside one another. And D-line, we do a little 3-man front this year. We're happy to have Ryan Gunderson back, a 6'4", 200-pounder, who's been gone for a couple of years, one knee 1 year, one knee the other, and had surgery, but he's really doing well. He's an all-state lacrosse player. And taking the page from Weddington, man, that's pretty synonymous. You got a good lacrosse team. You got a good football player there, but he's doing a really good job at the end. And we got Charles Smith, who will play some both ways down there. Denmar Chambers is another big body down there. Sometimes we'll use Eli Carter up at an end when we do go down, if we switch back to a four-man front. But there's just a lot of guys working real hard up front on defense and on the linebacker and secondary as well.
And you've had some really strong linebackers over the last few years with Roy and Jack Wilton filling in really nicely.
Yes.
Who can Spartan fans look at from your linebacking core and defensive secondary?
Well, we've got a newbie from Monroe and Robert Pendleton. He's a compact, strong, well-built young man, knows football. Ethan Lunsford's been in the program for a while. Occasionally we may have the Brannick, the long snapper, and center, if you will, Aaron Brannick, son back there. And, there's a couple, Donnie Nelson's working out with backer. I mentioned Eli Carter earlier. Secondary, we got Jalen Bethune, who's all-state speedster, did some nationals too as well. He's pretty quick back there in coverage. Kobe Anderson, another newcomer, Jeremiah Holmes, has been very impressive at safety. Probably a wiry 5'10", 175, who can fly, and he's just chirping the whole time. He's real excited. The wins from me personally will be from how well we played together, how well we progressed from week 1 to, obviously, hopefully week 16, but how well we mesh as a team, how well we grow, and how many things we're able to do with the offense, and Coach Bev is able to do stunt-wise with defense based on how quickly they pick up the system. And I'd like to see that happen. We're big on community involvement, so getting them out in the mornings with Dr. Harvey taking something and feeding people or whatever it is that the project entails, having a lot of involvement there without pulling teeth or begging people to help, which we don't have to beg them, but a lot of involvement with the community. And I guess the main thing is just them buying in and feeling the love of the staff and each other, and growing as a team and growing as a community through this transition of phase 1. We're not even at phase 2 yet, but as the phase 1 and phase 2 happens in our Sun Valley School.